Mama June, from not to hot, $150,000 was spent on cocaine by Mama June. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Mama June, from unknown to iconic, June Shannon is unwilling to acknowledge the financial toll that her drug addiction had. Her drug usage has not only cost her a staggering amount of money, but it has also caused her to lose her family. Mama June. June Shannon can't get any hotter. She might go to prison. Mama June, from unknown to iconic, June Shannon has previously battled drug addiction. She's not quite out of the woods yet, though. This is due to the fact that she could potentially serve a lengthy jail sentence as a result of past drug-related conduct. However, she is not the only one concerned about potential legal consequences. Additionally, Gino Doak, her boyfriend, may have to serve some time in prison. Mama's June Shannon June. Up to 2 years in prison are possible for from not to hot. Gino, her partner, must also spend the same amount of time. Mama is content with her current state of recuperation, but she is far from well. However, Mama is eager to get the chance to move on from her difficult past. Mom's new body following rehab. Mama June discusses her weight gain in her book From Not to Hot. She chats about her new body while preparing a milkshake and munching on the components for her delight. Mama claims that since leaving treatment, she has gained over 60 pounds. But she doesn't take long to remind out that her man Gino gained almost 100 pounds. She won't, however, accept full responsibility for her new physique from rehab. She claims that COVID-19 causes her to gain a lot of weight. Mama June. June Shannon shares unprecedented amount from not to hot. Gino and Mama discuss their addiction on Mama June. From not to hot. On their journey to a treatment facility, Gino remarks that it's excellent that they're taking their time in seeking assistance. He continues by considering the amount of money they have spent on the habit. Mama June Shannon initially retaliates against him telling the truth. In just 6 months, he claims they had spent more than $150,000 on cocaine alone. June Shannon lets out a "Shez," he says this. However, she shakes her head in agreement when he finishes the phrase. In all, she acknowledges that she spent more than $1 million on drugs in a single year. But as she emerges from rehabilitation, she expresses gratitude for receiving assistance. This is a result of her mission to support those who are struggling with sobriety. She also enjoys her life in Florida. Her children are the only thing she truly wants back in her life. She hopes her family will give her an opportunity to prove to them that she has changed. June Shannon, known to millions as Mama June from the reality TV show Mama June, From Not to Hot, had always been a polarizing figure. She was the loud, unapologetic matriarch of the Shannon family, and her journey from a reality TV star to a controversial public figure was well documented. But behind the cameras and the tabloid headlines, June was fighting a battle that few truly understood. It all started innocently enough. A few parties, a few lines of cocaine here and there. It was a way to cope with the pressures of fame and the scrutiny of the public eye. But what began as a recreational escape quickly spiraled out of control. June's addiction grew, consuming her life and her finances. She spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on cocaine, draining her bank accounts and leaving her family in a state of constant turmoil. The breaking point came when she spent an astonishing $150,000 on the drug in a single year, a figure that shocked even those closest to her. June's addiction didn't just affect her. It had a devastating impact on her entire family. Her daughters, Halana Honey Boo Boo Thompson, Lauren Pumpkin Shannon, Jessica Chubbs Shannon, and Anna Chickadee Shannon, watched in horror as their mother spiraled out of control. Pumpkin, the eldest of the sisters, took on the role of caregiver and protector. She tried to shield her younger sisters from the worst of June's behavior, but it was an impossible task. The family home became a battleground, with constant arguments and accusations flying back and forth. "Mom, you need help," Pumpkin pleaded one night as she confronted June. "This isn't just about you anymore. You're hurting all of us." But June was in denial, unable or unwilling to see the damage she was causing. Her addiction had taken hold of her, and she was trapped in a cycle of self-destruction. Desperate to save their mother, the Shannon sisters decided to stage an intervention. They enlisted the help of a professional interventionist, hoping that a structured, supportive approach would reach June in a way that their pleas had not. The intervention took place in a rented conference room at a local hotel. The atmosphere was tense as the family gathered, each member ready to share their thoughts and feelings. The interventionist began by explaining the purpose of the meeting and the ground rules for respectful communication. Pumpkin was the first to speak. "Mom, we love you so much," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "But your addiction is tearing this family apart. We need you to get help, not just for yourself, but for all of us." Alana, usually the most outspoken of the sisters, was unusually quiet. When it was her turn to speak, she looked directly at June, tears streaming down her face. "Mama, I miss you. The real you. Please, come back to us." June listened in silence, her face a mask of conflicting emotions. The interventionist then presented June with an ultimatum: enter rehab or risk losing her family. After much deliberation, June agreed to enter a rehabilitation facility. It was a difficult decision, but deep down, she knew it was the only way to reclaim her life and her family. The road to recovery was long and arduous, filled with physical and emotional challenges. At the rehab center, June underwent detoxification, a painful process that left her physically and mentally drained. She attended therapy sessions, both individual and group, where she confronted the underlying issues that had fueled her addiction. Through the support of her counselors and fellow patients, June began to understand the impact of her addiction on herself and her family. She learned coping mechanisms to deal with stress and anxiety, and she slowly started to rebuild her self-esteem. Meanwhile, the Shannon sisters were navigating their own challenges. Pumpkin struggled to balance caring for her young daughter, Ella, while supporting Alana, who was still reeling from the trauma of their mother's addiction. Jessica and Anna tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy in their own lives, but the weight of their family's situation was ever present. After completing her initial treatment, June returned home. The journey to sobriety was far from over, but she was determined to make amends and rebuild the trust she had lost. The reunion with her family was emotional and bittersweet, filled with both hope and apprehension. "I'm sorry," June said, her voice choked with emotion. "I know I've hurt all of you, and I can't change the past. But I promise I'm going to do everything I can to make things right." Rebuilding trust was a slow and delicate process. The sisters were wary, having been let down so many times before. But they were also hopeful, wanting to believe in their mother's commitment to change. June immersed herself in her recovery, attending regular therapy sessions and support group meetings. She also worked on repairing her relationships with her daughters, one step at a time. They went to family therapy together, where they could express their feelings and work through their pain in a safe, structured environment. As June's recovery progressed, she decided to share her journey with the public. She wanted to use her platform to raise awareness about addiction and the challenges of recovery. It was a risky move, exposing herself to scrutiny and judgment, but she believed it was important to be honest about her struggles. The new season of Mama June, From Not to Hot, documented June's recovery journey, capturing both the highs and lows. Viewers saw the raw, unfiltered reality of addiction, the toll it takes on families, and the difficult path to healing. The response from fans was overwhelmingly positive. Many viewers reached out with messages of support and shared their own stories of addiction and recovery. June's honesty and vulnerability resonated with people, and she became an advocate for those facing similar struggles. Through her recovery, June discovered a new sense of purpose. She became involved in advocacy work, partnering with organizations that support individuals and families affected by addiction. She spoke at events, sharing her story and offering hope to those in need. June also launched a podcast where she discussed topics related to addiction, recovery, and mental health. She invited guests to share their experiences and provide insights and resources for listeners. The podcast became a valuable source of information and inspiration for many. In addition to her advocacy work, June pursued new creative endeavors. She took up painting and writing, finding solace and expression in the arts. These activities not only provided a therapeutic outlet, but also helped her connect with others in a meaningful way. As June continued her recovery, the Shannon family began to heal as well. They found new ways to connect and support each other, building a stronger, more resilient bond. Family outings, game nights, and shared meals became regular occurrences, bringing them closer together.